Good day, thanks for coming today. Well, we are going to talk about spotting spices.
Spices are initially fruits that are dried, bottoms of certain flowers that don't open, bark, berries, or roots. These are pulverized by grinding or scraping techniques. These spices can have a variety of flavors, different colors, textures, and smells. The mission of spices is to add or enhance the flavor of any food. This project aims to investigate in detail the option of exporting spices grown in Colombia, taking advantage of the high fertility potential in the lands that haven't been exploited yet, in order to obtain large profits and at the same time straight relations, mainly with the Asian giant.
Variables. The 17 countries that were chosen in the table were those that consume the most spices in the world according to the FAO and the UN, of which in the end the seven most important ones remained, such as India, Vietnam, China, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, the United States, and Romania. Those countries were selected with the calculation of the standardization through the selection of the population, GDP, and spices import variables by the importance number from 1 to 5. The variable with the highest value was the population with 5 in size. Since as a group we believe that the more people there are in the country, it will always make the purchase more likely, speaking of quantities. The variable with the lowest value was GDP with 2 in wealth. Since as a group we believe that the spices being a cheap product, it doesn't have so much influence. Finally, the variable in the middle was the import of spices with 4 in likelihood to consume. Since as a group we believe that the past consumption levels could influence the future consumption.
So, in India, spices are a very essential product in the life of its citizens. It can be said that almost the whole country uses spices. They are too important for families and also for the economy. They are used in all kinds of food. Already that this country has an immense variety. In term, in terms of policies to carry products of this kind to the country, it is a bit difficult since this country is protectionist and seeks to have its internal spice market secure. For most of the tariff, they are high. Competition in the spice market is very great since there are too many companies and people that are dedicated to the production and sale of spices in the interior and exterior of the country. It is possible to export only some Colombian spice products to the India.
Vietnam. For Vietnam, the use of spices in the kitchen is vital since they give that exotic touch that characterizes it around the world. We also found the five spices powder at any Vietnam cuisine because this powder is quite used a lot at the cuisine. Vietnam is divided into three very important gastronomic areas. First, we have the north part where it is characterized by the cooking of pots. This area has been influenced by the Chinese gastronomy, the wok. Then we have the central Vietnam, where we can find silly influence from the north as well as from the south. The dishes are characteristic for the balance between sophistication and delicacy. And finally, we have the south of Vietnam. Here is more typical the use of vegetables and fruits and the use of some types of spicy. The Vietnam market is very interesting because it have around 90 million people that use this spice all day in each meal that they have. It's really a profitable market to start a spices business or to export the spices to this country.
China. China is the most populous country in the world. Its population is concentrated in 60% in urban sector and 39% in rural sector. This is a really key information because major of the people who lives in the cities doesn't grow their own spices. They usually buy it on the market because they do not have space of time or time to grow it themselves. So this is a good start to with population. Okay, let's see how is the growth on consumption. Well, houses every year spends more in households. It has an annual growth of 9.5% every year. A person in China usually spends 27% of its incomes in food and non-alcoholic drink. This means a quarter of the incomes is spent in food. The key to get to the customer is to hire influencers. That is the easiest way to show our product to the customers because they really follow that culture. And just to finish, let's talk about entrance policy. The barriers of entry to the country are really good because they only care that our products doesn't have a level of chemicals. So we will try to be as organic as we can.
Saudi Arabia. By tradition, they add a mixture of spices to each meal, from breakfast to Zayn, for add a good flavor. Policies for companies that are arriving in their country are based on principles such as non-discrimination, investment sustainability, investment protection, protection of public policies, transparency, job creation, technology, and knowledge. The competition is the unbranded spices that are sold in the street market. It is possible to export spices from Colombia to Saudi Arabia, taking into account that the policies are made, the fertility of the Colombian lands, and that no exists a great competition.
Species in our cuisine are very important since our food is very strong. Most important species, probably garlic and cumin seeds. You can find it anywhere in the food markets, and that's it.
Turkey is one of the largest customers worldwide due to the number of restaurants and the culinary culture that the country presents. Spicy food in Turkey is part of traditionalism and ideal for the inhabitants. Being a very cheap product, is found in any type of market and it's accessible to the majority of the population. About the policies, the obesity control policies issued the state with immediately close the use of spices for foods that affect the integrity of young people and children in their weight. About the competition, the national markets is the biggest competitor since it can be offered the cheapest and best known products, and at the same time it could be an influence to innovate in our products. Finally, in our investigation, it was the fifth country of potential markets to enter, and it could have different benefits for us doing an interviews.
Marketing strategy to explanation. Easier countries. Regarding the research, the easier countries to enter are China, Vietnam, the United States, and Saudi Arabia. This is because they are the ones who consume the most, and according to the research, they are willing to import. On the other hand, the countries not willing to import are India, Turkey, and Romania. Marketing strategy. To enter to these countries, the strategy is going to be product adaptation and marketing standardization, since the physical of the product will have changes, as well as the price depending on the country. Also, a direct export will be carried out since it facilitates more trade. Customers. The communication channels will be social networks and traditional face-to-face markets. Prices. The price will be around $1 to be accessible to all markets. Market trends. Finally, taking into account that according to the trends, women are the ones who cook the most, the product will be more attractive for this type of market.
Thank you so much for coming. We hope you've enjoyed the presentation. Have a wonderful day.